What's going on, little fuckers? Welcome back to another video trade recap. Today is Monday, the 2nd of October. In about 24 days, it will be my birthday. So wish me a happy birthday today and not tomorrow. So let's get right into it. Okay, nice little trade recap today. Today was a weird day, and today was a day that I was not supposed to trade at all. And you will know why very quickly. Forex Factory, if we go to it right now, as you can see, all the red folders here. For Monday, let's just focus on Monday because that's today. We had at 10 a.m. we had ISM manufacturing with PMI, and then at 11 a.m. the big man, Mr. Chair Powell speaks. So Mr. Powell, anything he says is very controversial in the market, and it changes a lot of direction, lots of bias, and it takes out a lot of liquidity. Now, this right here, this little move right here, this was Fed Powell. Usually would we on FOMC days, I don't know why, we would see some huge moves, some huge spikes. Today it was just a little move, nice little move. And what usually happens on FOMC, you have to remember, is that if price goes up, it's going to come back down. If price comes down, it's going to come back up. It's always like a reversal type pattern. And today we actually had a perfect I want to call it A setup, not A plus, because we didn't have like a market structure shift. Well, I mean, I guess we did. Like this high made like a swing low, and that high got taken out. Yeah, okay. I guess you can consider this. Whoops. Let me change this. I guess you consider this a market structure shift if you really want, like this right here. On the 5-minute. And then obviously that displacement creates fair value. I'll get into it, but yeah, so A plus setup, A setup, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do. I took a few trades because I fucked around, and then I fucked around here after market, but I fucked around first with this candle. I like was setting up my paper trading, entered by accident, and then I really got in a position and added more to that position. Turns out I figured out why I made $56,000 today on paper trading. It's because I was trading stocks and not options. So instead of putting 1,000, so like if I do this trade and I'd say like sell, like create new order, I would say like buy 1,000 units. And I thought it was $1,000 that you're putting in as stock. So $1,000 worth of SPX. No, your actually trade value is I was putting in $4.2 million. I was trading $4.2 million, even though I only have $3,000. That made no sense to me. And turns out I could, go from 4 million trading to I had $1,000. Then I put in 1,000 units, which is $4 million, and made 50K. I don't know how that works with, trading view, but I'm gonna stick to options paper trading because trading views, to me, it's a bunch of crap. It fills your orders very well, but I just don't like to use it because these fucking arrows, and I know how to get rid of them. I just don't want to do it. So, the trade today, yeah. So we waited for news, and then we waited for Mr. Powell to speak. And what I like to see is just the price action. So I marked out my chart, like usual, just to go over the day. Today's the day open right here. Just to let you know, boom. On the daily, I forgot to do like a weekly. Let's get this shit out, bro. I don't want to. Forgot to do like a weekly analysis, but we were still pretty bearish. Oh my god, you can't see shit, can you? If you look at the weekly candle, right, we have this this nice little displacement down here, and what I'm ultimately looking for is at least like a comeback, if you will, off this weekly fair value gap, if not this other weekly fair value gap that I just already hit. A comeback, use this fair value gap as support now to come back and hit this either this order block or this consequent encroachment of this big weekly fair value gap. Although if you look at the monthly tells us a little different story. The monthly right now, we're in the middle of like its fair value gap right here, and I believe our consequent encroachment of the fair value gap is like right, where do we put it? That's the monthly low. So I believe the consequent encroachment, we've already passed it if I'm not wrong. Consequent encroachment has to be right here. So we're actually trading above this consequent encroachment. If, and this is what ICT taught me. Okay, let's just take all of this and make it like this. Even you, get out of here. So if we took our range and we did this for the monthly fair value gap, we see that the consequent encroachment is a 0.5 at 4307. That's the price level. And what ICT has taught me is if we wanted to even get a chance to come back up, we would have respected this consequent encroachment and these levels before. As you see, we've respected the 0.25. We didn't trade down to the 0.5, but when we did trade to the 0.5, we not only did trade through it, but we traded all the way basically to the low. So that gives me a clear analyzation. I don't know how you fucking say it. It gives me a clear vision that there's obviously a fair value gap here created that it's going to want to come back into, which I believe I have marked that somewhere if I'm not wrong. Like there's a fair value gap right here that's marked. And if you go down to the weekly, yeah, it should already be marked as this blue, big blue thing. So that's the monthly fair value gap right there that you know, we are just talking about. That's right there. So I would want to see price come into that, at least tap into it or trade into it, and then completely reject. And our next draw liquidity would be this low, and ultimately this monthly low. After that, I will wait to see what price does, but that's our bias for the month, obviously, for October. Weekly is showing exactly the same. Obviously, the weekly, it looks like we've already tapped into this monthly fair value gap. So maybe this whole week would be a down move trying to regain what we lost on, or what we got back, if you will, on Monday last week, which was last month. So I'm looking bearish on the week. The daily, the daily is a little weird for me right now. There's a lot of wicks. I really don't like this. But I'm looking, I mean, if you just look at this, right, we're bullish. We hit this monthly fair value gap. We completely fill this fair value gap, by the way, completely fill it. And we do not trade higher than this. We're not targeting this order block, so I could actually delete it. We didn't target it. We don't want it. We're going lower, right? So that's the daily. The 4 hour, not too much, even more fucking shit here. It did create buy side liquidity, but the thing is, now that I'm realizing this, it doesn't want to target anymore because that's not the draw anymore. The draw is not to go higher. The draw is to go lower because usually, yeah, that's just it. I'm not going to go into detail. Where did we see this? We create a nice little here on from Monday to, yeah, just Monday. So today, pre-market at 2, we create a 3 hour fair value gap here in the orange. What I like to do now is I like to have a big time frame fair value gap because I was looking for a short position after FOMC. Obviously, if you look at the 4 hour, there's not much there. I believe there was a fair value gap here, but this wick, as you can see, this wick right here that I'm looking at right here, this wick was down here, right here, and then in the 4 hour, it traded up. So I had that fair value gap first. It lined up with the 3 hour, obviously, like quite literally to the dot. 1 hour, yeah, not too much. There's a big fair value gap, but what I don't like about this is this big fair value gap I know has a smaller fair value gap that I can find, and I believe it was in the 5 minute, and there was an okay displacement inside this 3 hour, 4 hour fair value gap. And that's what I'm looking for, because in that fair value gap, there's another fair value gap, which shows 2 PD arrays. And maybe there's a third one in the 3 minute, 1 minute, whatever. So you can really refine this. Like in the 3 minute, for example, there's another fair value gap that's like right here, right? And it comes, oh, that's the wrong thing. You know, right there to right there. Oops. to right there, you know, it comes here. But then in the 1 minute, you know, there's an even bigger one. It's like right here to right there, you know, and like price is reaching for the very top. So it's like, want this, you know, so there's a bunch of stuff there. But wait, did we add one more? No. What I was looking for, whoops, was a retracement back into the zone. And when I had drew out the OTE, right? So we had, where was it? How do I mark my OTE? Oh yeah, 30 minute was it? Yeah. Okay, so I had this swing. I fucking hate this thing. I had OT, the swing high, or the swing low, which is right here. Mark that out. Love the OT, man. Fucking love it. So mark this out. So obviously price doesn't want to, can't reach in the gold zone. But what I've seen is there's 1, 2, the line, and obviously FOMC PD arrays with a market structure shift. That means that there's around 5 to 4, I'm going to say 4 bearish PD arrays for me to enter this trade. And the trade in question was on the 5 minute, I believe. And as y'all saw from the entries, you can see that I entered off this fair value gap right here as it swept this fair value gap. Maybe not to take, it actually came here to grab this order block. Right here, I guess this little tiny liquidity, you know, this was during FOMC, so it doesn't matter where you enter here. I mean, you get on the tick, right? If you enter here, at the top, at the bottom, whatever, right? Your stop loss is at the 0.5 or this order block or whatever. Like, it's in this area range. Your profits are down here. Like, your risk to reward isn't changing much, and the price isn't coming very far. So that happened with this. It also rejected off the 0.62. Could probably see it easier on the 3 minute. I mean, this is the same on every other time frame, but this was a nice little, you know, reversal. And this was right after FOMC. And what I had was the power of 3. I believe I have this on in my notes, or it's in my phone. Yeah, it might be on my phone. Shit. Let me quickly upload it to, what's it called? My Notion real quick, because I want to show you guys the power of 3 that I had. I could probably really easily recreate it, but I don't want to waste time here, so I'm just gonna, offline. What the fuck? Come on, man. Connect me to the Wi-Fi. Oh, that's right, because I was in the car, yeah. This is where I'm gonna lose a lot of y'all for attention and shit, but that's good. At least I know that you guys are pussies and you can't listen for shit. Okay, so boom. Gotta redo this whole fucking shit. Okay. Caption. Add photo. And we are going to add, which one's the best? Probably this one. Or this one? This one. Okay. Let's see if this updates. It does. Perfect. Okay, so I'm sorry for this, but this was on my phone. This was on the 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute. This was easier to explain on the 1 minute, but you have accumulation here, right? And this was, if you look at the time frame, this was at 10 a.m. This is 11 a.m. right here. This whole move up is 11 a.m. And then the 12 p.m. My bad. 10 a.m. accumulation, right? This is before FOMC, right after the, you know, also I think we have news here that reaches into here with the ISM. 10 a.m. news accumulation for FOMC. Then you have FOMC that happens at 11. Boom, hits this area. And I'm like, okay, this is now the distribution of the FOMC. Reversal hits, you know, the 3-4 PD arrays that we have and takes a nice little draw to the current day, or back then the current day low. Okay? Or the swing low at that moment. Now it targeted that at first, and then what I realized is that it actually targeted this. It's not a balanced price. Whoa, it's not a balanced price range, as this fair value gap actually gets respected multiple times. Maybe it wants to go trade through it. Is what it's thinking, and that's exactly what it did. Now, why did I not set this target there? Because listen, it was right after FOMC. People like to buy and sell a lot. I don't know, I've never traded after FOMC, so I don't know what the price action could look like. I don't know if we were gonna be good or bad. I didn't even know if my trade was gonna be good. I definitely, I put my phone away right after I entered this trade, and I was confident. I had my stop loss, my take profit set. I look at my phone in the middle of math class, and that shit is straight down 50 grand. I'm like, fuck yeah. Yeah, we made it. We're good. And that was just aiming for this. I mean, imagine if I aimed for his. I mean, we'd make what, 70 grand or so. Anyways, that's not the point. Where else did it target? Oh yeah, I did target this order block too. Order blocks I've seen are also like a type of liquidity that price likes to target. That it target immediately? No, it didn't like reach to the point there. But notice how it did use it for support in some areas, right? It did use it for support, so this level is being used. And I believe this was a 1 hour order block. Yeah, on 5 minute it looks kind of weird. So that was SPX. And I want you to realize, like, I caught a very small move, right? Because yesterday on Monday, or actually today, or was it today? Where was it? Where did I see it? No, this was on Monday. Yeah, this was today. Yeah, 3 a.m. My bad. It's fucking stupid. Today, this is why I wish I could trade futures like in the morning. Because here on Sunday we make this swing high right here. And so this is obviously like the next like draw on liquidity, like just liquidity in general. And we make the swing high over time on Sunday, right? This is like we get close to it, we kind of reject, get back to this like, oh, I have so many random lines. I guess we get back to an order block or some shit. I do see it like in a fair value gap here, kind of reverses. And then obviously we have Monday open, which is right here. Monday opens right here, made a low, sweep that low, come to grab this high, and then we sweep this high, and we're in this monthly fair value gap. I mean, come on, what an entry. Like, you could enter here because of this confluence. Your stop loss is like right here somewhere, I don't fucking know, and you're targeting, what's the next low? I mean, we're going to sweep this anyways, but what's the next low? It's down here, right? So you could easily target that low for a nice 15-2 risk to reward. I mean, that's like perfect. Now, am I saying I would have done that? No, but like it could have been done, and we only got this part of the trade. Like all we got out of that was this. That out of the whole trade, we only got half, if not a little less. So to me, it seems like, on the 1 minute, if you go on the 1 minute, you're like, oh my God, it's such a huge trade. Well, when you put it in the big picture, it's really not that big. It's just one fucking candle. That's all it is. It's not a whole move. It's not a whole daily bias change. It's just one little candle. Before we close QQQ, let's take a look at that real quick. I don't have the settings on it. Whatever. Where was this? Oh yeah, there's so many fair value gaps on QQQ. It's wild. Daily, I believe. Yeah, this is a daily gap. The blue is the daily gap. The 4 hours was a 1 hour fair value gap. Yep, it was. Right smack down the middle. I had a bunch of others that you could mark out. But the thing is, where did this line up? This lined up with the 0.2 consequent encroachment, I guess. And price tapped into it pretty fairly, I guess. Right? Yeah. 30-minute also had one. Yeah, so everything lines up. We talked about this, right, on Friday. Took a nice little short there. Then it came down to this fair value gap, which you could actually refine a little bit on the 30-minute. Now that I'm seeing it, you could do something like this, and it rejects nicely off here, right? Boom, rejects off there. I don't know why it's so bright. I really don't know why it's rejects off there, comes back up, trades up to this fair value gap, this range, whatever, boom, boom, boom. Almost taps into this daily gap, comes back down, and then market opens on QQQ. We get this bullish price action up into this range, where on SPX we actually swept that high like we talked about, and then the range itself is from the high, I believe, to the order block, or to the liquidity to the order block. So it hit all the ranges, consequent encroachment, and 0.25, reversed on it, and then now it needs to sweep it, comes into this order block, and obviously PD array that we had rejected last time doesn't even come close to any of them, so it shows selling pressure. And then on QQQ, if you took this trade off the breaker structure, it would have been, I mean, did it target the lows? That's the thing. On QQQs, it didn't target the lows at all. QQQ didn't target the lows, but it did target this fair value gap that I can see. I'm just going to say the bottom of this fair value gap. And if you took this trade, it would have been a 10-to-1 risk to reward. I mean, if, you know, that, I mean, that works pretty well. But QQQ also had confluence, and that's why I also took this trade on SPX. So I posted on my TikTok. If you guys haven't seen that, go follow French Trades or French_trades, or I don't fucking know. I don't know what my TikTok is, but if you guys want more, please let me know. I'll try to make this a little shorter and some more longer for analysis. I do this every day just because I want to practice my speech and how I talk about the market, because I know a lot in my head, but maybe I don't know how to express it. And while doing these videos, I understand that some things are missing, some things can be improved, and some things can go away. For example, I'm seeing right now this fucking line in the middle. I have no clue what it is, what it's there for, and it's not even respecting anything, so that's a problem. So we don't want to have random lines. Oh, it's a consequent encroachment of SPX. I don't even know how I had this. I'm pretty sure it's the monthly. Oh yeah, it is the monthly. Okay, never mind. Forget what I said, but yeah, that is a problem. Like this line, don't know what it is. It's an order block. I had to really zoom out for that one. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, and this is fine. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys have a great day.